What Sila Tekin would remember about that afternoon was that she had been wearing her favorite shirt. It was nothing fancy, just red with white stripes and blue stitching, but it fit perfectly, not too tight and not too loose. And it wasn't only comfortable, it was lucky, because she had been wearing the shirt when she found a $20 bill on the sidewalk one afternoon while walking home from school. Sila had also bowled her highest score in August and done well on a very hard math test while wearing the garment. Another time, when she had on the shirt, she'd spotted a 2-foot-tall speckled owl sleeping high up in a tree in Hendricks Park. That was amazing. So the t-shirt was special. There was no question about it. At least not until Thursday, September 6th, when Sila came through the front door of the apartment to find her parents in the kitchen. Her mom and dad were never there when she got home from school. They were always at work. Her mom's eyes were red and puffy from crying, and her nose looked like it was leaking water. Sila asked in Turkish, which was the language she spoke at home, "What's going on?" Her father put his hand on his daughter's shoulder. She could feel tension even in his fingertips. "We've had some bad news." Sila's ears started to buzz. One of her grandparents must have died. Her voice was shaky as she asked, "What's happened? You have to tell me." Sila's mother, Oya, looked as if she was going to speak, only nothing came out except a long, dry exhale that had choking sounds mixed in. But then her father managed, "Your mother is going on a trip. She'll be back soon, very soon." "A trip? Why?" "Legal things, fixing paperwork." Sila looked at her mother. "Where are you going?" "To Turkey." Sila's eyes moved from her mother to her father. They weren't sick. No one had died. Health wasn't the issue. Sila stared at her parents and could see they were trying to seem calm, but it looked as if their heads were going to explode. "I don't understand. So what's the bad news?" Her mother wiped her nose. "It's immigration. There is a problem." Sila's parents went on to explain that Oya needed to return to the country she left as an adult and get a replacement for a document that had never been properly executed. Without fixing the situation, Oya was facing a court proceeding and even deportation. So she just needed to correct a clerical mistake. They had a plan. It didn't sound to Sila like that big of a deal. Hadn't her mother admitted she missed where she was born? Couldn't going back to Turkey be a good thing? Didn't Oya speak all the time about longing to see Sila's grandparents? Wasn't she always saying she missed the bread and the cheese and the tomatoes she'd grown up with? But this trip was forced on her. Maybe, Sila thought, anything that you are told to do isn't as good as when you make the choice yourself. Everyone wants to be the boss of their own life. Sila had been born in Oregon. She was an American citizen. Her parents had lived in Eugene for almost 15 years, but they were Turkish citizens. In Istanbul, her mother had studied to be a librarian, but once they came to America, she had taken work in the housekeeping department of the most expensive hotel on Main Street. She cleaned rooms 5 days a week, and, if she was lucky, got overtime for a 6th day. That job had ended after 14 years only last week. So much was in turmoil. These were the facts. Sila's mother would be gone for 8 days. 2 Sundays with 6 days sandwiched in between. Before Oya left, she cooked her husband's and daughter's favorite foods and then packed the refrigerator and the freezer tight with glass containers. While her mother buzzed around the oven and the stove, Sila tried to be helpful and clean the apartment. When she was finished, she cleaned it all over again. She would have started on a 3rd round, but she went with her mother to shop for the gifts to bring for family and friends. Later that night, Sila sat on her parents' bed as Oya filled a large suitcase with wrapped presents. Once they were in place, she had room for only 3 outfits, a week's worth of underwear, and 4 pairs of socks. Her mother insisted this would be enough for the short time she would be traveling. Sila didn't think so, but said nothing. Her parents took money from their savings and then more money from a credit card to finance the trip. Sila could see that her mom was nervous when she said goodbye. Oya pressed a blue glass evil eye on a chain into her daughter's hand and told her to keep it with her at all times for protection. Sila didn't think her mother believed in curses, but she looked pretty serious. It was, she knew, bad luck to be superstitious. Sila slipped the gold chain around her neck. She didn't want to cry. Her mother whispered, 8 days will go by so fast, you'll see.